lesson, as we walk through the acrostic, as we look at purpose, we're trying to find our purpose in recovery. The first week we talked about powerlessness, then we talked about understanding, then repentance. Perseverance was last week. Today we're going to talk about finding our purpose in overcoming. Wow. Finding our purpose in overcoming. Wow. And the perseverance and the overcoming and the standing kind of runs together. When you talk about perseverance, that's that ability to keep on going, right? Yeah. Against opposition. And when we think about overcoming, that means that I've hit an impasse or I've reached a block, and then I have to overcome that. That's right. And for those of us in recovery, we have a hard time overcoming obstacles. Yeah. Because the smallest of life issues throw us off. That's right. And we know from step one that our issue is not drugs. Our issue is really that our lives is unmanageable. And we don't know how to deal with life on life terms. That's right. And so as we walk through this talking about overcoming, we're not talking about overcoming abstract things. We're just talking about overcoming our day-to-day issues. That's our issue. Yeah. How do I handle my time? How do I handle my co-workers? How do I handle my relationship? Yeah. How do I handle my children? That's what we got to overcome. How do I handle dating? That's right. Just the simple stuff. What do I do with my money? Yeah. Those are the things we struggle with overcoming. That's right. We think it is some abstract something like we finna go through an obstacle course or something. The obstacle course that we're going through is just day-to-day living. That's right. That's what those are solving. That's right. And so that's what we're going to look at today. Got it? Got it. Look at your paper. It says, every temptation is an opportunity to do good. On the path to spiritual maturity, every temptation becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. When you realize that it is just as much an occasion to do the right thing as it is to do the wrong thing. Y'all see that? And we take stumbling blocks as an opportunity to do what is wrong. But we learn here from Rick Warren that those temptations are opportunities to do what is right. While temptations is Satan's primary weapon to destroy you, God wants to use it to develop you. And we find out in here that is God's prescription for growth, is He allows us to go through things and we grow from that before He promotes us and give us another opportunity. Because that would be malicious for Him to just keep rewarding you things knowing that you are not mature enough to handle it, right? Right. And so that's why He allows us to go through things. It said, you be faithful over a few things. Yeah. It said, come on up here and I'll make you rulers over many. Yeah. But see, in recovery, we want to be rulers over many before we master the small things. Right. We go on a job and work for 2 weeks and we mad because we not the CEO.
Right, right.
Yeah. No, you're not CEO material today. You're going to have to do some remedial tasks before you get that task. That's right. That makes sense? And so we have to learn that, and that's difficult for us. As my mother used to say, sometimes our eyes are bigger than our stomach. Yeah. Because we're greedy and selfish people. Yeah. We just go, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. Mm-hmm. And no, we don't have the capacity to handle it. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're going to have to learn today, that through this is that God allows some things in our lives to grow us. And check this out. One of our biggest resentments is against God. Because we're mad that He won't remove this disease from us, and we're mad because He won't do things for us, and we never take the time to stop and say, just maybe, a loving God understands that I'm not ready for that. You know, you don't take a 15-year-old and be a loving parent and put him in a Ferrari. Right. Because 9 times out of 10, at 15, you're not ready for all of that power. You're going to hurt yourself, right?
Right.
And so sometimes the no's that we get in recovery and the no's that we get from God, they ain't hating. It's just you know that they're not ready for it. And that's what we have to understand. And so once we master these things, we make it to the next level. But we can usurp the process and get ahead of God. Because, I'm going to say this and I get to the lesson, what we have to know is Satan is a better giver of temporal gifts than God. And so a lot of times we can get some things, but it don't mean it is from God. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we have to be careful of, because we can make things happen. This is a 6-month program. The first 4 months you don't work. And I tell guys, one of the reasons we don't allow the people to go into the computer room in the first 4 months, because we don't want you going in there looking for a job. And so what happens, and I've seen this happen a whole bunch of times, a brother will apply for a job in the first couple of months, and then he will get a hit, and then the company says, all right, we will hire you, and it's a $15 an hour opportunity. So now I only have 30 days clean. Do you think I am going to leave the program and going to take that job? Yes. But if I would have stayed out of that computer room, I would not have known that. And family members, y'all have to be careful about what y'all tell us, because we can't handle certain things. And so you don't need to bring all information to us, because y'all will stop us and throw us off. And so some things you just say, you know what, this job call, I'm not even going to tell him. Because if I tell him, he's going to leave. And then he'll work a few weeks, and then he'll fall off, and then you mad at him. Then you'll put him out.
That's right.
And then relapse is never the family member's fault. It is always the person in recovery. It's their fault. But family members, y'all can play a part in it. You got to ask yourself, am I a helper or am I a hindrance to recovery? Those are the questions that family members have to figure out. And let me help you all y'all in here are hindrances to recovery. Y'all have to learn how to be a helper to recovery. It ain't your fault, but you have done some things. And a lot of times, it's some loving things that y'all done. But y'all can love us to death too. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Go to the next slide. Psalms 116, 2 through 4 says, the cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came upon me. I was overcome by trouble and sorrow. The psalmist is saying that the cords of death had overtaken him, and that's the way we feel when we first come in here. We say, I just can't take it no more. That's how we end up in here, because it had gotten too much for us.
That's right.
And so in the 12 by 12 in step 1, it says, it is truly awful to admit that glass in hand, we have warped our mind into such an obsession for destructive drinking, only an act of providence can remove it from us. Back in the day when I was young, they used to have this little saying, little slang saying, they used to say, you got me bent. They don't say that no more. I'm dating myself. You got me bent. And what that meant is that you looking at me wrong. But we have warped our mind into such an obsession for destructive drinking, only an act of providence can remove it from us. Our mind and our thinking is off. Our thinking is bent.
That's right.
And we have to realize that as the addicted person. And family members, y'all have to realize that too. There are some things that we should know how to do that goes right along with our chronological age that we're just not able to do. You see what I'm saying? And the expectation is you should know how to do this because you're grown. I may be grown, but there are some remedial tasks I just don't know how to do. And when you force them upon me, it throws me off. It overwhelms me. And And family members, on one hand, you know, that's hard for y'all to accept. Especially as a parent and especially as a wife. Because you'll say, you're a grown man, you ought to know how to do that. No, I don't know how to do that.
Right.
And when you put me, but if you ask me and force me, my pride will make me say, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's the acronym we use for ego. What's ego?
Edging God out.
Edging God out. And so my ego will make me say, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I really don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask me, can you come home with your paycheck? Can you hold money? You know what I'm going to say? Yes. I'm surely not going to tell you, no, if I have anything over $3, I'm going to go to the liquor store or I'm going to go to the dope house.
Yeah.
It is your job to say, now when you get your paycheck, you're going to bring your money home. I will issue it out to you.
Yeah.
And then what y'all have to learn how to do, family members, is allow us to be mad.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to be mad? Yes. Although it is the best thing for us for you to hold our money, we're going to be mad at you because you do it.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to just say, you know what, lip stuck out and all,
That's right.
I'm going to hold this money.
That's right.
And move on. Y'all know how to live with us being mad at y'all. It won't be the first time we've been mad at y'all.
Yeah.
We mad at y'all now for sending us here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or allowing us to come here and didn't say, come on home and stay with me. I know y'all didn't know we were mad at y'all. We are mad at y'all.
Yeah.
Number one, it says realize you are no match for Satan. Realize you are no match for Satan. Or you are no match for the disease of addiction.
Yeah.
Without help, this is too much for me.
That's right.
I am no match for the disease of addiction. And we think that we can overcome this thing by ourselves. And you can't. We need help.
Yeah.
We need help from people in the fellowship. We need help from our family. When we give a sheet out that they fill out called the support system. In the first part of the support system, it says get you a support network. Your support network is a group of people who are not necessarily in recovery, but they support you in your recovery.
Yeah.
That's where your family members and all of that stuff fit.
Yeah.
Then the second thing we get is a support group. And your support group is a group of people that are in recovery and they support you in your recovery. Then we say get you a friend or a sponsor. And here in treatment, they don't need a sponsor in the first phase, so they get a friend. But when they leave here, they get a sponsor. And since we're a faith-based program, we say, and then get you a prayer partner. If you go down this sheet, that's about 20 people just to keep one person clean.
Yeah.
Y'all ever hear of that African proverb where it says it takes a whole village to raise a child? It takes a whole village to keep one addict clean.
That's right.
Because we can't do it by ourselves and we're no match for the disease of addiction.
That's right.
So we have to realize that that's step one when we say we admit that we're powerless over our addiction and our lives has become unmanageable. And that's what we say. It is hard. In the big book, it says it's awful to admit, glass in hand, that I've warped myself into such an obsession for destructive drinking. Only an act of providence can remove it from me. It is hard for us to admit that. Admitting complete defeat is hard for us. But like I said last week, the only I can't in recovery is that I cannot use successfully, but I can perform all my other tasks at a high level. I can learn to do that. I just can't use. Because y'all told me last week that one is too many and 1,000 is not enough. And so once we get that, we're okay. But you're no match for the disease of addiction. You're no match for Satan. That's the first thing we get that we have to know. See, God has a funny way of doing things. And we think that, you know, when you go somewhere, they build you up first. But with God, the first thing he wants you to do is to realize that you can't. That's like turning you down in the military when you go to basic training, What they say is, we're going to tear you down and then we're going to build you up.
That's right.
And so that's kind of what we have to learn in recovery.
Yeah.
We have to learn that we're already told out.
Yeah.
Everybody else know it, we just don't know it.
Yeah.
And so step one helps me to accept that I am towed out and I need some help. Psalms 13:4 says, don't let my enemies gloat, saying, we have overcome him.
Yeah.
Don't let them rejoice at my downfall.
Yeah.
Psalms 13:4. It gets even better. The second one says, realize who your friends are.
Wow.
Realize who your friends are.
Wow.
And we have a simple way of seeing who our friends are.
Yeah.
You are only my friend when you support me in my recovery.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. Whether you are my mother, whether you are my wife, whether you are my homeboy that I grew up in, that's how I determine whether you are friend or foe. Doesn't mean I don't still love you. But if you don't support me in my recovery, you're not my friend. Y'all got that? That's how you tell who your friends are. Do you support me in my recovery?
That's right.
Or are you a hindrance to my recovery?
That's right.
How can somebody be a hindrance to your recovery? Those are the people that invite you to use, that invite you into dangerous situations, that use around you. And they're not your friend.
That's right.
Because they already understand and have seen what you went through. And so if you offering me beer and you're offering me to get high with you, you're not my friend.
That's right. That's right.
You're not my friend.
That's right.
That's how you determine whether someone is a friend or foe, whether they support you in your recovery.
Yeah.
Now, what we talked about this morning, family members, is what we have to accept is that y'all non-addicts never fully understand the recovery process. And we can't spend a whole lot of time trying to educate y'all.
Yeah.
Because y'all not going to understand it. What we have to do is do what we need to do until y'all accept it.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't understand it. Y'all say stuff like, you stayed down there for 6 months and you still got to go to meetings?
Yeah.
So you are that weak that you don't go to a meeting, you just going to flip out? Y'all don't mean no harm, y'all just don't understand it. And so we, just like I said, y'all have to support us even if our lips are stuck out.
That's right.
Now check this out.
Yeah.
We got to do what we need to do to stay clean, even if it means your lips are stuck out.
That's right. That's right.
Even if you get mad,
That's right.
we got to still do what we need to do. Because the same person which is in your family that will say you don't need to do all of that will be the same person that'll put you out when you fall off. Be the same one that say, you ain't got to do all of that. You ain't got to go today. But you go get high, then they'll say, you can't stay here. But no, mother, no, wife, you the one told me not to go. Then, brothers and sisters, you know what that same loving family member will say? You ain't never listened to me, so now all of a sudden, why you gonna listen? Just look side to side, the same loving person right there will say that.
Man.
They said, we didn't come to be beat up, we came to hear you beat up on them. But that's true though, isn't it, family members? If they listen to you and don't do what they need to do for their recovery, and then they fall off, you're going to be just as mad. You're not going to say, oh, okay, don't worry about everything you stole from me. I was a part of that. No, that ain't how it works. Y'all going to still be mad. So we got to learn to work this program. And y'all will accept it eventually.
Yeah.
The people in my life don't understand why I still have to work a program after 24 years clean. But I have to. Because when I stop, my recovery stops. Recovery is like spirituality. It's fluid.
Yeah.
It never stays still.
Yeah.
I am either going forward in my recovery or I'm going backwards. I can't just get to this point where, okay, I done read enough, I done went to enough meetings, I got 24 years clean, I can stop now and retire. In the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it has a personal story in there about this guy that I think he stayed clean somewhere around 24, 25 years, and he retired.
Yeah.
And it said within 2 years he was dead. He had drank himself to death. Now he had 20-something years clean. Now you would think that he should be able to stop by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And within 2 years he had drank himself to death.
Yeah.
When I stopped, my recovery stopped. And anybody that's a hindrance to my recovery is not my friend. Now, a lot of times the people who love you, they're not being malicious, they just don't understand.
Yeah.
They just don't understand.
Yeah.
And they, they'll say stuff to you like, so if you just have one beer, you that weak, you'll flip out?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard to answer.
Yeah.
Because I want to say, no, I'm not that weak.
Yeah.
Go on, give me a beer. It's kind of like politics. It's all in how you phrase a statement. If a woman tell a man, you mean you that weak that if you drink one beer, you gonna flip out?
Yeah.
It's hard for a brother to say, yes, I'm that weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now my ego will get in the way and I'll say,
right.
sure, I can drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what my friends used to tell me when I first started going, when I got clean and go back around, and they would say stuff like that to me. Them people got you brainwashed. You that weak that you gonna do that? And I fell off a couple of times because I did not know how to deal with that. Then I would just go ahead and do it because I needed to prove that I was a grown man and that I wasn't that weak.
Yeah.
And then that thing that y'all said a while ago, I found out that one is too many and 1,000 ain't enough. And I learned that, you know what, it's all right for me to be weak. It's all right for me to say, yes, I can have just one.
That's right. That's right.
And I learned also how to distinguish friends. I just stopped going around people who encouraged me to do those things that was wrong.
Yeah.
And if you are easily persuaded and you don't know how to answer that, then you need to stay away from those people. That's going to put you in that position, because the people who love you will either not do it around you or just tell you you're not invited. Like we said last week, you can't come to the party this week. We about to turn up. So you need to stay on over there because it's about to go down at the house. We'll bring you a plate. Because what we finna do, you can't do. And it don't mean y'all doing anything bad. Y'all just simply watching the ball game and drinking a few beers. But it is hard for us to be around those social events where people are drinking or using early in our recovery.
That's right.
Without that being a trigger for us. So, know who your friends are. John 6:33 says, I've told you these things so that in me you will have peace. And in this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I've overcome the world. On page 88 in Narcotics Anonymous, I love this. It says, as we recover, we gain a new outlook on being clean. And see, when we first start out, our outlook on being clean is difficult. Because we think being clean is boring and no fun, and we just gonna be miserable. And once we learn that in recovery we can have fun, because I didn't think you could have fun being clean, because my whole life, everything I done, it was around using. And so I had to get around some other people who were clean and understand that them people can have some fun. That's why they say this thing is about attraction rather than promotion. It's important for us to get around some people who have been clean, and we have to make this thing called sobriety look attractive and let them know, you know what? I can have fun without getting high. I always tease the clients and tell them, I spent up a whole bunch of money and went through a whole bunch of suffering to find out I was a trip, clean or high. So I ain't got to get high to be a trip. I'm a trip sober.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
See? She said, yeah, you're a trip. I didn't know that, but guess what you don't know? You're a trip too. So but what that requires is for you to be present in your life and not take yourself so serious and learn to laugh and enjoy your own company.
That's right.
Because you're a trip too.
Yeah.
I can just be all by myself and just be laughing and having a good time, you know. Now I went and got checked out. They say I ain't crazy. That's what the people say. But I talk to myself and entertain myself because I've learned how to like me.
Yeah.
And so I can be all right. And getting clean is okay. You can have fun clean.
That's right.
Now I actually remember what I done last night.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody got to inform me. Used to be the people used to have to inform me.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no. They say, yes. No, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. And everybody else would know. I just wouldn't know. And they had started to not invite me to things. Like, why y'all don't want me to come? No, man. No. You know what you do? No, I really don't know. That's the point. I don't know. We enjoy a feeling of release and a freedom from the desire to use. That's the beautiful thing, to be free from the bondage of addiction and to have a choice. That's what we overcome, and God does that for us, and the program of recovery does that. And that obsession and compulsion normally leaves us within the first 30 days. You know, we don't have, now we may have thoughts, but we don't have that overwhelming desire to use anymore. And when we have it, it's every now and then.
That's right.
Every time I get some money in my pocket, I don't have that overwhelming desire anymore. I have what they call fleeting thoughts. You know, I see something, I'd be like, oh, sure, it would be nice to have a beer. And then I'd stop and pray and think it through, and I'd be like, no, life too good for me to mess that up. And I keep on moving. Ain't no long, drawn-out process. But it's a wonderful thing to be free from the bondage of addiction. It said, we find that everyone we meet eventually has something to offer. We become able to receive as well as to give. Life can become a new adventure for us. We come to know happiness, joy, and freedom. That's a wonderful thing. They say we will become happy, joyous, and free. Ain't that what they say?
That's right.
Happy, joyous, and free. And we learned in our last series that happiness is contingent upon happenings. And so I'll start having some happenings that will make me happy. That means things will start doing pretty good, and my life will be pretty good. That's a wonderful thing. And joy, we know, like it says in Philippians, that joy is that I have that peace that passes all understanding, irregardless to what's going on. And then the freedom they're talking about is just that freedom from active addiction. Freedom from being in bondage to what people say or what people do to me. I'm just free from that. Boy, it was a wonderful thing when I learned how to say, you know what? That's on you. If you want to be mad and you want to be stuck, that's on you. I'm going to let you have that. Y'all, clients, y'all better learn how to be free when other people are stuck.
That's right.
And learn how to let people be mad at you and all that kind of stuff and be all right. Be like, oh, okay. I'm so sorry that you feel that way, but I'm gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go on by my day because I can't get stuck every time somebody else gets stuck. Because I done offended so many people. There's a whole bunch of people mad at me. Shoot, I can't wait to be happy till everybody else get all right. Some people ain't gonna never get all right with the stuff that we have done. Y'all know that? We have tore some relationships to where they ain't gonna never be fixed. And so if you're waiting to be free for that person to forgive you, some people ain't gonna never forgive you. And you got to learn how to be all right with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just do what you need to do and clean off your side of the street and be all right.
Yeah.
It says in step 9, we make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. And sometimes there are some people I don't need to go make no amends to because I may be the one that's hurt.
Right.
Physically or emotionally.
Yeah.
I can remember I had a year clean, I'm working my steps, I was over a year, and my sponsor told me to start making my amends. And I went to Tyler to speak to this person, and I went and done exactly what they told me to do. I'm just coming down here to apologize and make amends. And she said to me, my house got broken in last night. Was that you? I know that was you. I said, no ma'am, that was not me. Yeah, it was you.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. Wow. I just came here to try and make an amends, and I'm gonna go back to Dallas. Yeah. It didn't work, y'all. Yeah. But when I got back, I was hurt, and my sponsor told me, you done your part. Yeah. You didn't go down there to reconcile that relationship. You went down there to make an amends. Right. If you went down there thinking everything was going to be all right because you apologized, you set yourself up. Yeah. And so my mission was accomplished, and she died mad at me. Yeah. She never did let it go. Yeah. You know, and I had to learn how to be all right with that. That's right. You know, and let her be where she was, and I was where I was, but I couldn't wait on her to let it go before I enjoyed the joy and the happiness and the freedom of recovery. That's right. Because that means that she is renting, as y'all say in the rooms, rent-free space in my head. And I got enough people in my head already. Amen. The NA text says it's at least one other person up here. Yeah. And it can be more. Yeah. And so I don't need none of y'all up here too. That's right. I got enough people up here. No, I'm not schizophrenic. I just got some people up here. They be talking to me. Right. So do you. Yeah. Because the disease of addiction used to say this to me, and I'm going to carry on. It would say, let's go get one. And I'll be by myself. If something says, let's go get one, don't that kind of mean it's talking to somebody else too? How many of y'all just free yourself where it says, let's go get one, and you all by yourself? Who the other people you was taking with you? That's them other people in your head. So if I'm schizophrenic, so are you. Because I heard that. Almost, it sounds audible almost sometimes. Let's go get one. Okay. What I never learned how to do is ask them if they had some money. You know what I should have asked? Do you have some money too? Just kidding. But it's a good thought though, isn't it? Yeah. Since lets us go, we all need some money. John 16:33, number 3 says, God has overcome the world. That's what we realize, that we already have this thing beat. All we got to do is follow the program. That's it. It says in the big book, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover, people who cannot or will not give themselves to this simple program. Yeah. And in the NA text, it says that they've never seen a person relapse who was working the NA program. That is so wonderful. So what I have to understand is, victory is mine. I just got to follow the process. Yeah. I ain't got to chart no new roads. I just got to find somebody working the program and follow them. Yep. I ain't got to create the program. It's already been created. I just got to be a good follower. Yeah. And that's our problem. Yeah. Family members, I'm going to make your family mad if I'm going to say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know addicts hate to be told what to do?
What to do.
Yeah.
And even more than that, we hate the word no.
Yeah.
Both of them will set us off. And so that's why they took that out and just say, this is just a suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just a suggestion. So that will kind of, they were just trying to defuse us. But what it really means is a damn well better.
Yeah.
That's really what it means.
Yeah.
But since they didn't want to set nobody off, they just say, we suggest that you go to meetings.
Yeah.
We suggest that you don't drink.
That's
We
right.
suggest that you don't go around old people and old places and old things.
That's right.
It's just a suggestion. I don't want to make you mad.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be told what to do.
That's right.
Isn't that something?
That's right.
And we're the main people that are in need of somebody directing our lives.
Yeah.
And so y'all have to figure out a way to get us to do what y'all want us to do in a creative way without asking us. That's a whole bunch of work.
That's a whole bunch
Yeah.
of
You gotta figure out how can I tell him he needs a job without saying you need a job?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you be sitting around and be thinking, it would make you feel so much better. And y'all saying, I ain't got time for all that. They just need to do what they need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which is true.
Yeah.
But you have to be creative, because we'll get mad. And we'll not do it just because you told us to do it,
Yeah.
to our own detriment.
Yeah.
We some messed up people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, my wife, it can be a great idea, and if she tell me to do it, that's the reason why
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You need to fix that gate. I know. When you gonna fix it? When I get ready. You fix that gate today? You know, I was going to fix it, but it's the way you asked me. So now I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because that's the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna fix that gate, y'all.
Yeah.
I just didn't want her telling me about it.
Yeah.
And if she tell me about it once, don't ever mention it again, because if you mention it again, that's just gonna make it be longer. Am I the only one?
No.
Yeah, don't leave me out there by myself. Luke 10:19 says, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome the powers of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. What I learned is that nothing can get to the believer unless it goes through God.
That's right.
The evil one has to get permission from God. So whatever gets to me, he allowed it. Even addiction.
Yeah.
Because addiction wasn't to take me out. It was just to get me in a position to where I would learn to trust him.
Right.
It was my disobedience that kept me in it for so long. And you. You should have been out. He wanted you to get clean in the first treatment center you went through.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't follow the program.
Yeah.
That's why it took you so long.
Yep.
And it's just like, I learned this early on. They said if a person breaks his arm or leg and it is set properly, that will become the strongest part of that bone. And that's why in the areas where we have been hurt and we recover, that becomes our point of strength.
Yeah.
It is my point of addiction and pain that's the strongest thing about me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm standing up here. That's what God uses.
Yeah.
God can't use you greatly until he allows you to be hurt badly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
That's what he does. He allows us to be hurt because he want to use us in those areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's what that's about. It wasn't malicious.
Right. Right. Right.
So number 4 says you have power. We got power, y'all. We got more power than we think we have.
Yeah.
And we have the power to overcome this thing called addiction.
That's right.
And like I said earlier, one of the most beautiful things that we have today is a choice.
Yeah.
And I am so happy that I have a choice whether or not I use today.
Yeah.
I have a choice whether or not I allow what you do to me to anger me.
Yeah.
Reverend Shelley used to always tell me this, and it took me a long time to understand it. Because I'd be saying, they done made me mad. He would say, no one can make you mad.
Right.
You can allow them
Yeah.
to affect you and make you mad.
Yeah.
If somebody can make you mad, that means that they own you emotionally.
That's right. That's right.
And so I had to take my emotions back and learn how not to allow people's mood
Yeah. Yeah.
to affect me.
Yeah.
It's some moody people in this world. You know that?
That's right.
If you went on an emotional roller coaster every time somebody that you know had a bad day,
Yeah.
you'd be in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
It is 25 people in this center
Yeah.
with at least one other person in their head. So that on any given moment, it's maybe 50 to 100 personalities
Yeah.
in this place.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole lot of mood swinging.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Have y'all ever thought about that? That's a whole lot of mood swinging.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of mood swinging if you stay by yourself, Paul, because there's at least one other person there.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
In closing, Matthew 16 and 18 says, and I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church,
Yeah.
and the gates of hell will never overcome it, will not overcome it. And what Jesus was telling Paul is, because Paul recognized who he was asking, who do other people say I am?
Yeah.
And then Peter said that you are the Messiah.
Yeah.
He said, oh, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you.
That's
so
right.
he knew that Peter was in the spirit. But if you keep on reading down,
Yeah.
a few verses down, he said, get thee behind me, Satan.
That's right.
A few verses up,
Yeah.
he was in the spirit.
Yeah.
Right after that, he was in the cell.
He was in the
Because
cell.
then he started to wonder, who gonna have a seat at the table?
That's right. That's
He went straight from humility
Yeah.
to arrogance.
Yeah.
And that's what we will do.
Yeah.
We have moments of humility.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know,
Yeah.
we be right back
Yeah.
into our arrogant self.
Yeah.
So number 5, you need to realize who you are and who God is.
Who God is.
Rick Warren says in The Purpose-Driven Life, the first thing he says in the first chapter is that there is a God and it ain't you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we know we not the star slinger
Yeah.
and the season splitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know we don't have that power.
Yeah.
But what Rick Warren would say is we think we are the master of our own lives. And what I have to realize is I'm not the master of my life.
That's right.
I need to follow God and follow the program.
Yeah.
I'm not in control.
That's right.
We fall off when we try to run it
Yeah.
ourselves. I got this. Well, that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
But you need some help? No, I got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was telling a brother this morning, he gets so overwhelmed with stuff around here. I said, man, did you ask one of your brothers for help? No. Did you ask me for help? No. I just don't want to mess up. Well, you messing up by not asking for help.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It is so hard for us to ask for help
Yeah.
because we think we are God
Yeah. Yeah.
with a little g.
Yeah.
We know we ain't God with the big G. We ain't the star slinger
Right.
and the season splitter.
Right.
But I got this. And once I started to say that, that means that I think I'm in control.
My.
And we're not in control of nothing.
That's right.
It took me a long time to understand that God had even just given me my kids on lease.
Yeah.
And I was just a steward of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make them do nothing.
That's right.
And then when I got a wife, that even done it a little bit more
Yeah.
because I found out I can't even I can't even say it because look at where they knew where I was going. So I can't even say what I was about to say. But what I was going to say, brother, just between me and you, I found out I can't even make her do what I was doing.
Yeah.
That's just men talk. Because I thought I could.
Yeah.
That showed me. I ain't in control.
Yeah.
I ain't in control down there. I ain't in control nowhere.
Yeah. I'm not.
And guess what? Guess who else is not?
Yes.
You.
Me. Yeah.
Family members, don't you allow yourself to think that you can love us enough to stay clean,
Yeah.
fuss at us enough to stay clean,
Yeah.
threaten us enough to stay clean. We got to do that for ourselves.
Yes, we do.
And you just got to learn how to be at peace, however
Yeah.
it turns out.
Yeah.
But we do have power to overcome. Amen. Now,